Welcome to episode 2 of the Outback Podcast. In this week's episode, the boys are on a fishing trip on the Murray River. We talk all about our experiences over the trip and some great stories to finish off. Hope you enjoy. Welcome back to episode 2 of the newly named Outback Podcast. We are here on the Murray, and I'm here with Samuel.
How you going? Mighty Murray. How good's this?
How's it been?
Oh, it's been terrible, but yeah, we're here. We're here.
Who else are you with, Sam?
With Ben, Robbo or Paul,
There you go.
and Tice.
Who?
That's not his name.
Sorry, Burkleberry.
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 Oh, Burkleberry.
We're here, boys, on a 2-day fishing trip. Hold on. We're on a 2-day fishing trip. How has it gone?
Oh, it's been great.
Well, let's roughly say where we are.
We are around Bremen, I reckon.
At the moment, yeah.
reckon around
We
Bremen
launched
somewhere.
in Corowa. Ben, what were you... Come on.
Yeah, look, so basically we just floated down and we had to pull up today because the arms are actually pretty sore of pulling all those fish in. So, no, it's been horrific. So two fish for me in my boat and one fish for... Who got it?
Millsy got it.
I got the fish now.
Millsy got
but
it, so-
We had... Robbo dropped... No, not dropped. He had 2 hits on surface last night.
Yeah, one last night, one this morning.
Yeah, so 2 in total.
Yeah.
It's been
Very slow going.
abysmal, honestly, the fishing. In Sammy, you want to talk about your experiences, mate?
Yeah, I've had a good time dropping 2 fish.
Talk us through it.
Both on surface, Ben, weren't they?
They were both
yeah,
on
both
surface.
on surface. So I don't know if it's just me just striking too quick. They haven't
You usually
got
strike
enough.
too quick, don't you?
Yeah. I'm a quick striker. Just Ben, there's one yesterday, Ben put it in the hole, and as soon as I got up, I cast it in, got it right on the log, and he goes, "Nah, no fish in there, mate." Straight away, bang, buffs it
Couple of
again,
lines.
grabs it, start reeling in, straight off. So yeah, lost it pretty quick, but pays to go right in the snag.
Yeah.
the scene, yeah.
I was saying that this morning. That was Ben. Talk about your encounter this morning, Ben. What happened with yours?
Yeah, so just today, this morning, we just had absolutely donuts all morning. I had one buff early doors, still dark in the morning, probably 5:30. And then, so we got snagged. The sun was on the rise. I'd electric in further into the snag, and then I casted like super tightly against the snag, like where it meets the dirt. And literally, it was in like a little cave, and I managed to get my one fish for this morning out of there, but the fish just seemed to be so tight to the structure.
Was there a reason you went in that close, Ben?
I was snagged, yeah.
Oh, you were snagged. I thought Burkle was
No.
snagged. You said Burkle was snagged.
Berkey had all the snags yesterday. But
Oh,
So what's the
man.
snag count up to?
Oh, you reckon 20
I
yesterday?
reckon Berkey's at 20 snags. Sam would be at 8, I reckon. And
I'll be getting up there.
I'd
Getting
be
there.
at 5, personally.
Jeez.
Nah, it's not 20. Nah.
We're all
I reckon
pretty
it'll be
much
close to
even,
10.
aren't we?
What about we even stopped at a tackle shop, Adventure Camping and Fishing, our lovely lads down there, and Burkleberry picked up a nice new...
What happened there, mate? Tell us about it.
Oh, mate. Second cast, I thought, I'll just do how we normally fish the rivers with the spinnerbait. Dropped it down, bang.
God,
Yeah, lost
that was
15
snag
metres
1,
long.
wasn't it?
The first cast out of
Second
the boat.
cast, first snag. 15 metres of line gone and had to cut it because we couldn't get it off.
How much was that down the drain?
$55 down the drain just like that.
Good
In
donation.
2
mate.
casts.
Oh,
Great
nice.
donation.
22.50 per cast. Good stuff.
But after that, the fishing's been hot. So
Yeah.
it's been,
Yeah,
been
it's been
great.
worth
Well, I got that one straight away. Like, literally.
Yeah, as soon as you got that fish, I was saying to the boys just earlier, I said,
We're on here.
I said, this is going to be hot. Like, we just put the electrics in. We're gone maybe 50 to 100 metres and you boys are on. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get rid of Berkey's snag. Yeah, I thought we were on, but anyway, times are changing.
Yeah, so we'll explain what we're doing. We've got Ben's boat loaded up. We got Swags in it. We got Sam Tyson and Ben in his boat with the swags and an esky and all the gear. And I've got myself and Robbo in my boat. And yeah, we've done this every now and then. Last few years, we just float the Murray, and usually we get at least numbers of small fish, but it's been shut down this weekend, hasn't it, boys?
This has been the worst float for me, definitely on the Murray in the summer with the numbers. It's been, very slow.
So far, we still got we got?
Yeah.
We got a night session and a morning session coming up, and it only takes one.
We're
change it.
currently like in the narrows at the moment. It's very shallow in here, like 2 and 3 meters, and it is like maybe 30, 40 meters across, and we'll be drifting to the wider areas later on today, and hopefully into the Arvo session. We can.
Hope that produces.
God, I hope it produces.
We need something.
It's got to do something. It has been slow out here. What's your biggest lessons you reckon you've learned from just the first 2 sessions?
Oh, that's a good one. What have I learnt? I suppose the biggest lesson is to, even though the Murray naturally flows quick, it's important to pick your structure and stick to it and make use of that structure 100%.
Yeah.
You need to cast at every single avenue, because as Sammy proved, I casted a log and I was a foot shy of it, and he was right at the log and the fish hit him. So you need to be putting quality casts in, picking your snags and fishing them slowly. Got to get good at that electric work, and that'll help you put fish in the boat, I reckon. Good tip for Sammy is to put hooks on his lure. So actually hook onto a fish.
Actually put the hooks on lure, yeah.
But
Might do that after lunch, yeah.
The video was funny when you just slap in the esky.
Hook up and then just, fuck, bang.
This is your preferred method of fishing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't
Look, in winter time, I don't mind the scope. That's preferred method because it's easier. It's dark, and you can actually go for it. Where in summertime, I don't even want to touch the scope. I just want to go out and flick lures at the bank and hopefully catch up. But I mean, this weekend's we've got a couple, but yeah, I mean, this is my preferred method. Even though we've only got a few, I'm enjoying this a lot more.
Yeah. Oh, it's the adventure as well. Like, we didn't know where we were going to camp last night. We still got no idea where we're going to camp tonight, or what could happen, or what we'll see. We might catch nothing, but we also might get 3 fish over 80 centimeters, and then we go home and say that the fishing was hot.
Yeah, it's the unknown that I like.
It's the adventure on the Murray.
Yeah, I like that. I enjoy that. So I think that when we did the Copeton trip, it was we didn't know what we were doing. We sort of had an idea of where we were going and a plan. Yeah. I think these sort of trips is similar to that. You just sort of pull up and go somewhere, and it's you just find new places and you just rock up.
I don't know if it's just you, but when the light gets low and the top waters are just crawling, like, I've just got this weird feeling it could happen at any moment.
You just never know. The unknown's so good.
The nerves.
Yeah.
I don't probably get it as much at night, but in the morning, like this morning, there wasn't a sniff of chatter between me and Robbo.
I said that this morning night. The unknown, but it can happen anytime.
We didn't even talk.
Yeah.
We were just in a zone. Like, when we couldn't see, I didn't even cast. I was like, I'm going to get this boat ready for you, Robbo. I'll get this boat positioned perfectly. You cast. Boom. Snagged. Mint.
Pitch black, couldn't see shit.
Not like that last night though. Like us three, we
just
were
dead quiet when surface come
dialed in. Until it got to this skinny stretch of water, we just sort of switched off a little bit because it just got a bit harder. Couldn't see as much, and snags.
Plenty of ski boats though, hey.
Oh, the hyenas too.
Yeah, the
jet skis. Fucking everywhere.
Near Corowa especially.
We just had a convoy go past, 6 of them.
6 jet skis.
I've never seen that before.
That's row. We're only it's not
middle of nowhere
it's not
too.
Deep.
Robbo was pretty happy with one of the ski boats, wasn't he? Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll keep that to ourselves, though.
Bit of eye candy for it.
A couple of bolt-ons hanging out of the back of the ski boat.
Yeah, we'll keep that to ourselves.
Yeah, that one.
What's sort of everyone's go-to lure for tonight? Like, say we're going surface. What are we going for? What are we using?
Well, my personal favourite, which I usually throw, is the Coolabung. I can't remember if it's the Cod Cracker or the Cod Walker. It was
Oh,
I
the
think it
cod
was
walker.
230. It's now 170 because the back end fell off it. But I still love it. It's the proper. It's one of the old timber ones.
Yeah, you can't go wrong
And
with the
you
old
can't
timber
beat the
ones.
timber ones. And the 170 is a good size because I feel like you can get those fish in the 40 to 50, but then you also get those 80 plus.
Yeah.
So I usually feel pretty confident throwing it. I got pretty sick of your wake. Was it the wake walker, the best one this morning?
Yeah,
You
the cod walker, I'm pretty sure.
the cod walker. That
yeah.
was you just tangle it up every time.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. It must be my technique of casting. I don't know. It's just
You got to just
it's my underarm cast when I do the underarm
Yeah,
ones. They're
right.
sort of tangled. They sort of twist in the air while it's before it lands.
Just as you're about to stop, just thumb the reel
Yeah,
and it just
yeah.
screws it straight a little bit.
I usually do that, but it's just the underarm cast that sort of twists and does its thing.
What's your personal preference for top water?
Yeah, honestly, I've got the most battered up. It's a kingfisher. It's the longest one. The bib's like about to break off. The timber's all chipped and broken. It's been to Copetown with me in 23, was it, that we went?
It's got
No,
character.
it was earlier than that. I would have been 21 or 22.
21, 22. So he was got smacked up the river in Copetown as early as that. I've still got it, just wanting to retire it. And the bib's looking like it's going to let go, but Tyson's just given me one of his kingfisher lures, so I'll steal the bib off it. My goal is to retire that lure. And then next to that, I've got the cod dog. I love that lure. It's it's similar to, what's that one that you use?
The cooler button.
Cooler bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a pretty similar body shape and walk to that now that it's lost its tail. So it'll be about 180, 170 as well. So, yeah.
You're in the kingfisher as well.
Oh, yeah, kingfisher wake bait.
Wake bait.
I don't actually. I never used wake baits, but this trip I seen the other boys though on the
love
poppers,
a
and I
wake
was like,
bait.
well, I thought
Love
I'd
a
give it a
wake
go, and it's so far it's had hits. It's just the hooks.
That's so interesting. I didn't even notice you were throwing that.
Yeah,
and
it looks
the-
like a nice little snake.
looks like
It's
a
actually
snake.
looks
The
really
fish,
good.
I don't know whether it's semi-subsurface, but the
Yeah.
fish seem to be hitting that more.
To be
Yeah.
fair,
right.
we've seen two snakes and you've seen a snake.
True.
So
Something to think
yeah.
about.
Very
So
interesting.
the wake, yeah, it looks like a snake, little snake in the water. So I really
Surely
like
a
it, yeah.
cod's not cracking a
Big
soft,
brownie.
big brown. Like, that's reckless.
Hey, we
It's
saw
reckless.
a red belly go like head first down with the tail flipped up in the
Yeah,
air.
the tail was in
Like,
the air.
the tail's in the air.
It was like tail walking. It was like looking for food.
I was like, what is
It
it
was
doing?
mad. It was a big dog as well. It was
was
thick
thick.
shaft.
Yeah.
Big shark.
Yeah.
The girth
big
on it
shaft.
was the girth was
Yeah, big
thick.
mushroom head on it too.
Yeah, I just can't. I'd love to actually see a meatery smack a snake. That would be awesome.
What about subsurface lures? Because obviously we would know we're talking about being tight to structure. Like obviously that doesn't really scream hard bodies to me. So obviously I know I haven't been throwing one. What have you boys been throwing?
I've rolled with the Bassman Mumbler. That's what I got my two on. That's a good lure. Nice steady sink and roll it down the timber. It's got the hooks on top so it doesn't snag too bad. And in the super bright colour, which is the same colour that you caught your fish on, is that right? The highlighted,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was. It was like a yellow and green thing.
Originally, I was running the spinnerbaits as well. I was running the
Well, for two
Bassman.
casts.
Actually, funny enough is that after I lost the first Bassman, had another one, lost another one as well. So that was good.
If.
But I've got another Bassman there in the bright colour, but I'm using the Xeric hard body in the similar colour to what the boys are running the spinnerbaits, just because if they catch them in that colour, there's got to be a reason for it. So, and we're not getting anything else.
Yeah, but the reason that they are getting hits is because they can sink them. I'm assuming you're sinking them deep, or you're letting them sink.
We weren't.
when you're tucked in a cave, you kind of got to click the bail over and just, I don't know, with a mumbler, what I do is you get it in that dark water, you just click the bail and you start to feel that paddle moving, but then like let it settle
Let
with
it
the
drift.
paddle moving, and then like potentially they could hit that on the drop as well, but just always be ready. There's no good having slack line out, I don't reckon.
You always click it in just in
You're
case
always
it
clicking
does
in,
hit
but
it.
I'm
Yeah.
letting it sink. Like I'm holding the tension
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
it sinks. That's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's hard to say success when I've only caught one fish, but I've had interest from other fish.
Yeah.
Like had a hit from one, got a hit from Robbo had a hit from one. No, I had a hit from another one, and then I had a hit from even the yellow. That was it. The
Yeah.
yellow,
Yeah.
the big yellow hitting the big. So I'm throwing the spin right, the spinnerbait,
Yeah.
And I think I
you
can't remember
call
what the size of
it?
the plastic is. Must be 7 inches, 6 to
I
7
think.
inches.
That's exactly what I'm throwing, actually.
Similar sort of
Yeah,
size.
just a brown version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're throwing the same one, same
Yeah.
lure.
Same one.
Yeah, righto.
I bought
Sammy's got the ready version.
Yeah.
Redfin.
bought it when Berkey bought his.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah.
At least yours saw more casts.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just sinking that down straight away. I'm not reeling that straight unless it obviously is shallow. And it's semi-successful, but it could just be shut down as well. These narrows area and where it's shallow could be just
Too hot, maybe. The water
probably
temperature.
water could be hotter
It'd be
because it's
interesting to
shallow.
measure the water temperature before we leave this
Yeah,
area and
that's
then measure
smart.
it into.
Yeah.
I'll check it. I think I saw it as 22.
Yeah,
Definitely check that.
So it'd be interesting to see if that's like 18 or 19 over there.
because all the other conditions are good. Like we're sitting at a 10, 15 barometer, which you've caught fish in much less.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're a barometer believer or not, but yeah, everything else looks good. It's just maybe it's just us operator error.
Yeah, there's a lot of that happening.
Just pole dancers.
Yeah, we've been out of the game too long. None of these blind casts and
Oh, it's
stuff.
been ages. I've done this for so long.
Jake and Paulie. Oh, Paulie, what is that?
He calls me Paul.
Jake,
Who are you?
Jake and Robbo gave us the option at the start. They said the big question is New South or Vic, and I was rattled at what they meant. But obviously, the Murray divides the New South and Victoria
There's
border.
no shadows in the Victoria side. We've been
Especially in the
hopping
Outback.
it.
All the mornings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
mate.
by that, you can probably tell which side we chose. So us boys chose the New South side, and you boys have been on the Vic side, which has been very sunny.
Yeah, the Arvo
Oh.
session was hard. It was very hard. So I'm
Yeah.
going to go mad.
Yeah, so we've got two more sessions. We got one tonight, and we got one in the morning. So we usually go at this time to about 9 o'clock ish, just until we can't see, and then we usually have either teed up a good sandy bank to pull up on already, which we'll motor back to, or we just happen to drift upon one, and that's usually how we do these things. Take the esky for food, maybe a couple of beers, but that's not
Yeah.
really also our sort of thing, is it?
Little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
One or two
Best
might be
to
right.
stay off the beers when
Yeah.
you're on
Yeah.
the water.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
more sensible.
Yeah.
We never rarely.
I
Maybe
can't remember us ever drinking a beer in a video.
Christmas Day, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
steady on.
The odd occasion.
That'd be it.
At the rate we're going, we're nearly going to end up in Bundalong, honestly.
The
We're
Bundelong
drifting
tab.
really
Tab.
quick.
Go to the tab.
The
So-
empty cans have got extra buoyancy in the boat. It's floating good.
Yeah, the back of your boat, Ben. That's pretty good. With all those cans in there.
But I remember when I got on, I realised I didn't realise how much fuel I actually had in. So she's going to be a bit touch and go about how far I get back.
I'm telling.
Well, I don't think you would last long either.
No.
You've got a little Jerry and a semi-full tank, don't you? Ben.
Yeah, I reckon I have a half a tank now and a full Jerry, so I should be all right.
Yeah, right. I'm nearly a full tank and basically
You'll be right.
zero Jerry.
We'll be right. I'll just drift down to Bundy and go to the tab for a bit.
Top up.
Top up.
I'd be keen to carry 20 kilos
Maybe
back
some-
on my shoulder.
Get some fuel after as well. After we top up.
Well, to drown out the bad fishing, let's do a whip around. Start with you, Sam. We'll go Sam, Jake, Ben, Robbo, and Berkey. What's your most memorable river fishing experience?
I'm talking about most memorable. The one I think of straight away, especially it's along here on Bundalong, was we went fishing and someone wasn't really prepared for.
I know where this is going.
Oh, no.
So it was Jake, Ben, and myself. We thought we'd go boat camping on the Bundalong River, and
Remember, I came the night before by myself.
yes, you were there, and then Ben and I met you the next day. So we rocked up, and Jake picks us up. We put all our stuff on the side of the banks, go fishing.
We were in the ovens, I think, weren't we? I'm pretty sure we boated down the ovens a bit.
In the ovens, yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, we get back to camp. It's starting to rain. So we'll set up all our camp. And anyway, we were up our swags. Yep, set them up. Ben opens up. Zzz. Oh, no. Just full of mold. Like, just mold everywhere. He's just like, I cannot sleep in this.
It was bad.
It was.
Like,
It was
When
bad.
we
I mean,
was
think
doing that,
about
it
a
was
little
like
bit of mold, and it was like when you unzipped it, the stench out of that thing, man. That was literally a laboratory test inside a swag.
His
bad.
dude was like a Dalmatian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy
Yeah.
rang his mum.
Yeah, we called
Rang
Chloe.
his mum. He goes, Mum, what do I do?
I didn't know what to do.
Explain what happened.
No
What
idea.
did he do for his sleeping
All I was
arrangements?
trying to find out is how sick will I be if I sleep in this way.
If you slept in there tonight, bad. And she's like, "Do not sleep in that."
Yeah.
So
So
all
anyway,
we had was a tarp and Jake's chair, which you could sort of lean. You had the ones
The
you could
recliner.
recliner.
Yeah.
You could lean back. So all we had, we set up the tarp. Ben got in the recliner,
tell us a bit more about the weather that was
Yeah, we're
rolling
getting,
in.
Oh,
getting
yeah,
to it.
set it up, ready to go. The rain's coming in. All of a sudden, the rain's pelting down. Jake and I go in our swags, just nice and dry, and Ben's sitting in this chair, lying back, and the tarp was filling up. And then all of a sudden, every half an hour, you said?
Every it was like, because we only had Telstra rope, it wasn't strung out that well, so it would pull up under the tarp, and like I'd just fall asleep. It'd take me about half an hour to fall asleep, and then the big pull would finally weigh enough to like break the front lip down and then dump all that water. So I'd like just fall asleep, and then next minute, all this water would come down. I'd wake up, holy fuck, and then go back to sleep, and then all of a sudden, half an hour later,
Rinse and
I'd just be-
repeat.
Oh, and it was freezing, man. So cold.
Yeah.
So always dry your swags out
Yeah,
when you
check your
finish
swag.
the
Dry
trip.
your swags
That's
out.
the first story of the Mouldy Swags, but
The
we'll
Mouldy Swags,
we'll
yeah,
touch on
more.
some more stories in future episodes
Yeah,
of that. It's
more of
it's a couple part series with the Mouldy Swags with Ben.
I would say that's probably my most memorable river
That's
fishing
funny.
trip.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a few. I got some. Yeah, I got stories on stories, but I could say heaps here. Probably go with Robbo's matery, I reckon. I could have gone with mine. I could have gone with that 70 I got in the Buffalo last year, ovens with you boys last year. That was up there. Or the one in the ovens at home,
Yeah.
that 95, that's
Yeah.
up there as well.
Even your PV. Or that wasn't really a river. Was that a river?
Yeah, it was the river.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I actually, honestly, Robbo's matery and my 95 was pretty special. They're on par.
Yeah.
As I know my matery was there as well, but just the situation around the other two stories are just ridiculous. Like that one with Robbo,
Yeah,
We-
give us a full rundown.
it was literally, the date was 2 days from now.
2 days from now, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Was it 2
No,
years
three.
ago?
Sorry, it's 3.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
it's
it's 3
three.
now. Yeah.
And we
Oh, yeah.
were doing, it's literally what we're doing now. We were floating the Murray, but we were going to go to the Edwards. The Edwards was absolutely pumping.
We're there for a bit.
And then we went to, was it Coondrock? Did we go Coondrock or something?
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
I can't remember
Yeah.
the map, on the map right now. And then we fished and it was rubbish.
Yeah,
it
it was
was
shocking. It was
absolutely
flying so
gouge. But we
hard.
were on like corrugation all the way to get there.
It was shocking.
And then we were about to leave the next morning. We were like, we'll go down towards Echuca and we'll fish. And then just as we were about to leave, Robbo notices that his trailer wheels are more sideways than Benny after a box of Bundy.
The bearing was completely
Bearing
gone.
was non-existent. There was gaps everywhere. It was side to side. It was shocking. And Robbo was stressing. And I was a little bit, but I was sort of like keeping it together because I wanted to keep fishing. And I was like, nah, we got to get this fixed. I was like, yeah, no, we definitely have to get this fixed. So we were probably, I reckon we were 45 minutes from Echuca.
Yeah.
And it was obviously just after New Year's.
Nothing was open.
Nothing was open. One shop. So we managed to get the boat there. Actually, the quicker you went, the straighter the wheel was.
Oh.
The slower he was.
That makes me cringe.
It was
as a
like
mechanic,
so-
I didn't
yeah.
do anything about
It
it.
was everywhere because I was driving behind him to make sure it's like was looking all right. And he was like radioing through to me.
How come you took 2 cars? If you
I was already on a trip.
All right, yeah.
It was sort of a weird one. Yeah, and so I drove behind him to make sure everything was all good. And yeah, I knew it wasn't all good, but there was nothing we could do. We had to keep going. We couldn't just leave the boat there. So I think it was Echuca Bearings. I feel like we ended up at.
It was the only place that was open.
Only
in
place,
Echuca.
but they were great
Yeah,
because
that was awesome.
we didn't have any of the tools we needed, so they provided us with the tools.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
awesome.
sort of knew what I was doing because you Ben did my bearings like a couple months earlier than that,
Mm.
and I not helped you, but watched you do it, so I sort of knew what to do. And yeah, we fixed
got it
his
on there
bearings,
eventually?
and we ended up continue on fishing. I convinced Robbo wanted to go home. I said, I said, mate, something
my
bad's
hopes are
happened.
pretty. Yeah.
Something good's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We ended up on the Murray near Cobrawonga, I think it was near.
Yeah, just below Cobram. Yeah.
And yeah, we got the smallest. We did this drift. We boated up 6K from camp. I got the smallest trout cod you'll ever see, and it was we got bailed out by the huge storm.
Massive storm came through.
We went under the trees, waited half an hour, came back out, drifted, got absolutely nothing, got all the way back to camp, and then right on camp where there's 200 campers, massive hit on surface,
Yeah.
huge fight, 113 in the net, celebrations galore, and that was that's up there that's probably in the top 3 moments.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And if any
Yeah,
of you just want to check that out, that's actually on our YouTube
Yeah, it
channel,
is.
Outback Adventures Australia. So
It's our first meetery on the channel.
What's it called? Robbo's first.
No, it was
Uh,
I can't remember.
it was
can't remember either.
insert audio here. I can't remember either.
Well, I think it was like Massive Murray Surface Seed or something.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
something like
You'll
that.
see a big photo of Rabbo.
Yeah,
holding it
Robbo.
up.
Rabbo.
Rabbo.
Rabbo holding it up.
Was that in your boat?
Yeah, that was in my boat.
Yeah, nice.
First meter in my boat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's up there with me. Hopefully you don't have the same best memory because I just told the story.
Well, yeah.
Righto, Benny, what's yours, man?
I think most memorable for me was I obviously grew up with Sammy coming through school and whatever. We regularly sort of started fishing the rivers with bait, and then we had a local tackle shop that's unfortunately no longer there. They got out of business for whatever reason, and we went in there, and this was when surface was sort of just starting to get pushed, and there was a little ballista stall there, and they had a small little TV screen. I'm going to say a 7 or 8 inch TV screen on the stall, and it was just a compilation of. I actually believe it was Rob, the store owner, in the local rivers, cranking these
I
ballista.
think I remember that video.
Cranking these ballista hunchbacks, and they're just going ballistic in the river. And my dad is like a tried and tested spinnerbait fisherman, and I bought one. He's like, "What is that thing?" Anyway, we went down the river together, and he's flicking his spinnerbait, and I'm actually fishing secondhand water after him. And I remember plugging this hunchback. This is the first time throwing a surface lure ever in my life, and this 60 centimetre cod just come up and made a huge commotion on the surface, and Dad's just looked at me like, "What's going on here?" And I didn't know either, and we got the cod into the bank, and that's really just lit the fire for me with the whole surface thing. That's my favourite way to catch a fish is on the surface. So that one dates back to the OG roots, and that's
It's good that
probably-
it was with your dad as well.
yeah,
It's cool.
yeah.
My memorable moment would have to be Millsy's first meatery. Definitely. Never forget that one.
Oh, this
Far
is the
out.
story.
Well, where do I start?
So
we
I
rock-
reckon at the boat ramp.
Yeah. So we were all at the boat ramp, load everything in Millsy's boat. We were camping out of the boats. We started going out, and we noticed the water police, or the
Yeah.
fisheries, the water police, yeah. They came over, the boat was packed. It was packed. Like, everything was overhanging out of it. It was fucked. Anyway, police came over, water police came over and wanted to check everything. And Jake was missing a life jacket.
There was 3 of us.
There was 3 of us in there, and
I
we had
usually
2
have
life
2.
jackets. So we were a bit in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Millsy was
I
in
don't
trouble
remember
for
anyone
that.
copping that fine apart from me. Which is fair enough. I'm the captain, so
Yeah,
that's
so
fair enough.
That was pretty shit. But anyway, he copped that fine.
$250 heads.
Is that how much it was?
Yep.
Yeah, shit.
Sure was.
I don't know how much it was. Yeah, right. But anyway, after that, we mowed it up, did a bit of fishing, didn't catch shit. we had this random bloke come up to us.
Oh, I hated him
Like this
so
random
much.
bloke just came up to us and goes, "How you guys going? Catching anything?" And we're like, "Oh, no, it's pretty quiet." And he goes, "Oh, I just caught was it 90,
97 or something
97,
like that.
something like that?" And he goes, "Yeah, I caught 97," and he just mowed us off. I'm like,
That's literally it. He motored to us, told us that, and mowed us off.
"Yeah,
It was so weird. The weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Respect. He obviously just was that excited he wanted to tell someone.
I was searching for him the next morning.
mate, Millsy just got a fine. Like he was not happy."
I wasn't happy.
He
And
wanted to
especially
murder
with
you.
Cheese, Matty McCormack. Oh man, I wanted to belt him.
Yeah,
he
he
was
is-
non-stop yapping in my ear about
Yeah,
this
he was,
fine.
he was giving it to you.
Oh,
But anyway, we fished that evening. It was pretty slow. Didn't get anything. So set up camp. Next morning, got in the boats. I think you drifted like 200 meters from camp.
yeah,
And
barely.
boof. Just heard this fucking monstrous.
What time do you
boof.
reckon it was?
Oh, it was about 5:30. It was early,
Yeah,
very
it was,
early.
we couldn't even say. Couldn't,
Yeah.
I couldn't see the hit.
Couldn't see nothing. And heard this the loudest boof I've ever heard. I
It's like
reckon.
a fridge hitting the water.
Yeah,
Were you
it was.
casting at the bank or
Oh,
what?
was it a reedy bank? There's
Reedy,
No,
yeah.
no timber,
All right.
just reeds.
Yeah. And Millsy didn't know like it was a meteor. Like we just heard this massive sound. Like we'd never seen a meteor in our life.
Nah, it was the first encounter.
Yeah, it was a huge boof. But anyway, we spot locked the motor.
Smart
And
decision.
it was like the current was pushing us. Like the fish was just going down. So I said, "Millsy, switch that electric off. Let's drift." And we did, and we saw the fish close to the boat. And I'm like, "Mate, like it's the fish surface." And I'm like, "Millsy, this is the meteor." And Millsy was trebling. Like his legs were like jelly. Like
Like
you should have
water.
seen him. He was Anyway, got the fish close to the boat, and Millsy gives me this net, and I'm like, "Are you serious? Like this fish is not going to fit in this net." It was like
You'd
it
probably
was a
get a-
trout net. Like it
You
was
probably
small.
get a 70 centimeter fish in at a push.
Yeah. And I was getting pissed off. I said, "Mate, nah." So I chucked the net in the boat. Not going to do this shit. We're going to lose this fish. So I just grabbed this fish in his mouth and just reefed it into the boat, like gently. Didn't hurt it.
Sure,
you do
it was
that gently.
gentle.
Yeah, no, but I didn't want him to
We
lose
were
his.
panicking.
You did
got
what
to
you
get-
had to
panicking,
do.
yeah.
You did what you had to do.
I didn't want to lose this fish for him. Like he's a fish of a lifetime, 1.25 m off the roof at Bundalong. Like
It was pretty mad.
you do not get that in. That was my favourite memorable moment.
It was pretty
Fish in the
cool, I
Murray.
must admit.
Yeah.
What was running through your head when you first saw it up on the deck of the boat?
I just couldn't believe how big it was.
I will celebrate. No.
Like I still didn't even, because I'd never seen one. I didn't think it was a meter.
Really?
Yeah, I'd never seen a meter cod. That was the first encounter.
Was that your first year with the boat?
Yeah,
You just bought the boat?
yeah. I
Yeah.
only bought it in the June, and that was the December.
Yeah. So we did that cod opening, and it was
Yeah, so that was
Yeah.
the second cod trip I did with that boat.
yeah.
It's like the people you see on Facebook. It's just like first time bait fishing for cod, and we get metery.
I fished for cod though.
Yeah.
Like I'd fished heaps. That was just the first time with the boat.
And what was that? That was a bassman
Bassman, that was the
Crawler?
crawler.
crawler. Yeah.
It's like 150 mil or something.
Yeah.
With the metal wings.
Yeah. $20. $20, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Bent the hook out as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how it landed.
Straight on the wall.
Yeah. That was a good
Yeah,
experience.
that was a great experience. What about you,
Let's see
Tosh?
it from the Burkle man.
Yeah. Bit of an interesting one. Just above Bundalong, actually.
Oh.
On the oven still, near Petrelbar. I was with my brother. There was a couple of fish in this story. Nothing crazy like those boys, but we had I was pretty fresh to the baitcaster days then, and
Good to see you've improved now with all this.
the 50 snags got this session, but funny enough, got a bird's nest, and I was trying to untangle it, and there was a set of rapids coming up, so I was like, stuff it, I'm just going to reel it in, I'll deal with this later. And I reeled it in, and this was sort of before the yellows in the ovens were going off, and reeled it in, hooked the fish, and funny enough, it was a 45 centimetre yellow in the ovens. I was like,
That's decent.
and my brother's like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, I just caught my first yellow in a river that I thought I'd never catch yellows at that point." And then, and then probably half an hour later, we went up to a little bit further up the river. This was when it was quite slow, so you could actually paddle up the river. And there was a massive tree down across the river. It was across the whole entire river. And so I sort of just cast there, and then I got in a bit of a bad spot. So I was fishing a spinnerbait at this time. It was actually a Bassman one, a DT, and dropped it down, and it hit the bottom of the river, and I finally got into a good spot where I could start casting, and then just reeled up a little bit, and then it got crunched on the bottom of that tree, and then that was the biggest fish at that time. It was 73, and it was on the kayak and just dragged me around, and then finally got out of the kayak. I had to jump out of the kayak to try and get onto the bank to try and reel it in, because when you're fresh kayak fisherman and you're fresh to fishing, you get a bit skittish and you get a bit hard trying to fish. So
Catching fish on a kayak is a pain in the ass.
oh yeah, when you don't have electric motor, you got nothing. You got a paddle trying to reel at the same time. It's just no good. And we don't use the kayaks that have the foot pedals or anything like that. So yeah, I finally got him up, and the biggest fish I had seen at the time, 73 centimeters, and
Your brother would have been jealous.
my brother, he loved it. Not a single word came out of his mouth until he finally caught one. But it was just catching the yellow, and then half an hour later catching the cod as well. And then my brother caught a cod on worms, just weightless as well. So we caught a few other fish as well. It was just, memorable moment. It's always a memorable moment when something tries to go wrong. And that was just one of those times. Just unlucky, but lucky at the same time, I guess.
Yeah, nice.
Nice, but
Righto. Anyway, that's probably enough talking shit from us boys. We're going to finish off our Murray trip and hopefully get onto a few fish.
Hopefully. That'd be good.
That'd be great. Well, if it becomes video, you know we made a few fish.
That's right.
But if not, we had a good trip. And you'll see us on the next episode of the Outback podcast. I've got the name. And you'll see us on the next episode of the Outback podcast. Thanks to Berkelberry and Robbo for their maiden appearance.
Thanks
Thanks,
boys.
fellas.
Thank you very much.
And we will see you next week. See you, boys. Fuck. And we'll see you next episode. See you, fellas.
See you next week.
Yeah, the fucking belly that week. I like it when you see it close.
I like that. That was actually enjoyable. I enjoyed that.